your friends. Tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
You go to Nigeria, which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is, it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now, here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America, or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hand. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help them.
I'm not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living in one. I'm living in one. Yes, you've done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation. In my judgment, well, of course, if you are highly learned, he can use you for his purposes, but not necessarily for the freedom, justice, equality, and advancement of your people. So the cause orientation that we saw in the 60s is no longer present. The cause today among most or many is rugged individualism. It's what I can get for me and my family, and to heck with you and your family. There's not a social consciousness that makes us feel the pain of one another. But something happened recently with the Gen 6. These young college students that were not around in the 60s came out of their places and went to Jena, Louisiana to let the world know we don't like what's going on. Now, I want to try and tie this up. Moses and Aaron said, "Rise up and get you forth." Pharaoh said to Moses and Aaron, "Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go serve the Lord as you have said. See, but he only did this after the last plague, which was the plague of death. Death came into his house and killed his firstborn, and then after that he said, take your people and just get out of here. Then Moses gave the children of Israel God's command, and they did according to the word of Moses. But then Pharaoh had a change of heart, because the slaves that God wanted to use, that he produced and purified through the furnace of affliction, Pharaoh then felt threatened that they would one day supplant him. Come on, minister, come on. So he decided to kill them all. And he sent his army after Moses and the children of Israel. Now, what is the army that Pharaoh sent out to kill the children of Israel? And what is this army that the modern Pharaoh has sent out to kill the children of the former slaves? Since we are the fulfillment of the prophetic picture of the children of Israel. Listen. What is Pharaoh's army? Is the Food and Drug Administration part of that army? Is the Center for Disease Control a part of the army? Are the pharmaceutical companies a part of the army? Is the American Medical Association a part of the army? Is the court system and the prison system part of that army? Is the closing of hospitals in the black community, is that a part of the plan? Is closing Grady Memorial, is that a part of the plan? Is the placement of black people near hazardous waste sites, is this part of the armed forces that have been let loose to kill the modern Moses and Aaron and to kill the modern children of Israel? Go ahead. Look at the death rates among black people. Look at the diseases that afflict us. Look at the government policies that promote this destruction of the black community. Is this an accident or is this on purpose? Preach, minister, preach. The army's behind us, but the Red Sea is in front of us. And the Red Sea represents war, revolution, and bloodshed that is going on, and the only way we can get through to that promised land which God has promised is that there must be a parting of the Red Sea, that the righteous may go through safely. And this is where we are today. And this is why both the Bible and Quran suggest a plan of salvation for the righteous. Are you ready to come out? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, quote, integration is a hypocritical trick to make you think that your 400-year-old enemy has all of a sudden become your friend.
Greetings, listeners. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is but one God. I greet you in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum and also Ramadan Mubarak as we enter into the last 10 days of fasting for the holy month of Ramadan. And the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, referred to these last 10 days as the days of reward, after the first 10 being the days of mercy and the second 10 being the days of forgiveness. So this is the 10 days where we reap our reward for the sacrifice that we would have made during the fast. And this holy month of Ramadan has been one of the most beautiful. And I will admit to you that I have been caught off guard this time around by these new restrictions that were imposed based on our planning for our celebration of Eid, which of course we didn't have last year either, but somehow last year we were more braced as the announcement came for the lockdown a good while before. And I don't think any of us would have expected that a year later, with all of those measures in place, all of those restrictions, borders closed. The borders have been closed from last year to this year. We've been wearing masks from last year to this year. We've been social distancing from last year to this year. We've been hand sanitizing from last year to this year. And even though it seems like all the blame is being thrown to so-called zessers, for the most part, the country has been obedient and has been complimented many times by the same officials for their steadfastness to these lockdown rules and regulations. And now it is very difficult to understand. However, we comply. But our last Eid celebration at the Kwame Ture Center would have been in 2019. And we actually had a wedding on that day. It was a magnificent celebration. And this year was going to be so much greater even. But we are observing, we're waiting for May the 23rd to see what announcements are made. Having said that, of course, yesterday we had to postpone our African Expo number 7 and the official book launch of Black Youth at Risk. But we still did do individual one-on-one sales and book signings, and I want to thank expressly all of those who came out and purchased the new book, Black Youth at Risk, From Juvenile Delinquency to Criminal Gang Activity. We are so grateful. And of course, the book is available at the Kwame Ture Center throughout the day, throughout the week. We're still open every day during the week up to 5 o'clock, and also online. So you can go to our website, www.blackagendaproject.com, and just click on the online store. You can purchase the book, and it's delivered the next day. It's shipped out the next day if you're overseas. And of course, there are also, just uploaded today, PDF downloads, which are at a much lower price. The book is $300 TT dollars, 45 US. And the digital downloads, I think they're about 28 US dollars. But you just do the purchase online and it automatically downloads to your computer or your tablet or your iPad or even your phone, as the case may be. And you have the entire book right there, all 414 pages. All of that on blackagendaproject.com. And, of course, normally for the African Expo, we have the African Food Queue, or the Blue Food Queue. And we were still able to pull that off, which was so great. So all the people who purchased tickets were able to come in and get the food all up to 5 o'clock. So it was still a very good day. It was still a great day yesterday. But we're monitoring, we're listening, we're trying to understand the logic behind a lot of these decisions. But, you know, I'm not going to get too into that because, again, there are so many public conversations out there that are highlighting, I mean, it seems to be the generic or the unanimous view of the general public that, you know, I mean, we're trying our best to cooperate to understand we have already complied with all these rules, all these restrictions. And then these numbers, it's something other than what it's being made out to be, for sure. So, in a short while from now, I will open up our telephone lines and take your calls on 342-0081 and 466-5391. Interestingly, this weekend, there has been, you may or may not have heard about it, I didn't hear about it on the news, but there has been, believe it or not, a global social media boycott among various sports teams, which started in the Premiership in England. That these top football teams, Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspurs, Aston Villa, West Ham, Newcastle, they have all come together and agreed to a social media blackout for the weekend. They have shut down all of their Twitter accounts, Facebook pages, Instagram accounts, all the various social media accounts, to stop online bullying and racism. I mean, we have that right here too. You know, people who go online anonymously and for an entire set of hours just post negative comments, racist statements, inflammatory statements, insensitive statements, bullying and insults nonstop all day. And it's an extremely cowardly thing to do, because it's understood that a lot of people who do that, they actually come and meet you in person and are very friendly and appear to be nice, and then they go back through their cowardice behind a fake name and a fake picture and a fake profile, just doing their best to destroy and bring down. Well, in England, with the black footballers, there has been some very heavy racial abuse. And so all of the clubs decided we're going to suspend all of our social media accounts for the weekend, and that's this weekend. It would have been from Friday to tomorrow. And interestingly, again, today, one of the biggest football matches for the year was scheduled to take place, Manchester United versus Liverpool. And I think, depending on the result or something like that, so depending on one of the results today, the winners of the 2020-2021 Premiership could be decided. I think if Manchester United lose, then Manchester City, based on how much points they have had, will automatically win the Premiership. Anyway, imagine both fans in this enormous rivalry between Manchester and Liverpool. The fans came together. I mean, Liverpool has been known to have some of the most passionate fans. I don't want to use the word hooligans, but some of the most passionate fans of the year. And they actually united with the Manchester United fans to stop today's game by protest action because of overtures that were made recently. Again, something that was very big in the news. The 12 top football teams in Europe decided to have a separate European Champions League. And the fans, the supporters of the teams, raised an extremely vociferous condemnation. And all the teams pulled out. All the teams pulled out. This was going to be a mega multi-billion-dollar project, because they're taking the 6 top teams from England, again, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham, along with Barcelona and Real Madrid of Spain, PSG of France, I think Dortmund from Germany, 12 teams, and those teams by themselves are going to play in this elite league. And the fans came forward and said, no, because you're putting profit ahead of the love for the game, which is a grassroots sport. Now, that is a demonstration of people power. And let me segue into my main theme this afternoon. I'm not going to be long with this, but a liberated people and a people who are colonized are only divided by their degree of awareness of their condition. Think. The difference between the liberated individual and the mentally colonized individual is their degree of awareness. Not their money, their wealth, their house or their car or their salary. The difference between, in this day and time, in this context, in a 21st century society, the difference between a free man and a modern day slave is only their awareness of the power that they have as a member of a population that has been deputized to replace the nationally elected leaders and the regimes that occupy office and create government. The colonized modern-day slave believes that he is subject to and must put up with whatever decisions are made by those in authority, regardless of whether there's justice in them or not. The liberated individual, on the other hand, knows that by him as part of a collective called the electorate, which is a segment of the population, and also within that group, whether they are active participants or non-active participants in the electoral process, they possess a power that is greater than those individuals who have the greatest power within the society. So that awareness of the liberated thinking individual would cause him to make the kind of change and adjustment in the society by uniting with others within that population to demonstrate the power that they have collectively. There are so many countries all over the world where the masses of the people have made their voices heard and decisions have been changed that were against the best interest of the people. Protest action through public demonstration is simply one form of the demonstration of that kind of power. But in addition to that, simply making financial decisions, items that we will and will not purchase, places that we will and will not go to shop, money that we will not spend in particular entities. One man making such a decision, isolated as an individual, can create minor change, but a group of individuals coming together of the same mind and heart and spirit with the same aim, goal, destiny, and direction can make massive change. But many of us in our prison of thinking are colonized, and we believe that whatever is thrown out at us, we must take. And what is a common feature in this country as well, I've noticed, those who parrot out support for a political party very often behind closed doors condemn the same party. So it's like a performance, which is how it was on the slave plantation, where we will perform a jig and a dance and a hop and a skip for the slave master. But you know it was even worse than dancing and singing and playing music, performing for the slave master? You know it was even worse than that? When we used to fight against each other for the entertainment of the slave master. Think on that one. That the slave master would get the two strongest among us, bring in their friends, they'll pay money, bet and gamble on who among us will kill the other first. And we would engage in a bloodbath battle, fight to the death, for the entertainment purposes of our enemies. Now, unfortunately, so much of these features have lingered on into modern day society. Oh man, let me tell you something. I could call about 7 or 8 live, living examples out of our own society today of this. Because that crabs in a barrel mentality that we have among us, where we stab each other in the back, drag one another down, do whatever we can. We work hard to prevent each other's progress. You see, that crabs in the barrel mentality, that is entertainment for our enemies. And when they see it happening, they cut it and paste it or copy it and circulate it. They screenshot it and videotape it and send it around, and they laugh. And then we laugh. Huh. Man. The great emperor of Ethiopia, Haile Selassie, said of Africa, the period of colonialism into which we were plunged culminated with our continent fettered and bound with our once proud and free African peoples reduced to humiliation and slavery, with Africa's terrain cross-batched and checked, bordered by an artificial and arbitrary boundaries. There's this image of two maps of Africa next to each other. One is just the outline. The other one is all of the countries carved out. We did not put those markings there. Our enemies did. We did not draw all of those boundaries between all of these countries. Our enemies did. And when he did, he then redefined us by the new boundaries, and then redefined our very existence based on the conflict and competition and rivalry that we have with each other when we were once one family. One African family then, and we are still one African family now. But other borders have been drafted, and we've permitted ourselves to be redefined by those new artificial borders. Rasta versus Muslim. Well, that one has largely been erased on terms of a borderline of conflict and bloodshed. But the PNM versus UNC borderline between African people is still there. I'm not talking about the Indians in UNC. I'm not talking about the Syrians who have more power over PNM maybe than any other ethnic group. I'm talking about us Africans. Africans in PNM, Africans in UNC, Africans who support Watson Duke, Africans in the trade union movement. Why are we redefining ourselves based on our division? If we do that, then our conflict is inevitable and our self-destruction is imminent. But if we redefine ourselves by the collective oneness, unity, togetherness, and harmony that you try and so hard to push for on the national level, how is it that you could sing here, every creed and race finds an equal place, and do all that you can to integrate and unite with all the other races, but you still cannot unite with yourself and your own people? You talk about you want to unite with everyone and live in so this harmony that is written about and sang about. But your own African people are in a different political party to you, in a different social class to you, of a different religion to you. You cannot unite with them. But you want to unite, oh, let's all unite and hold hands. Oh, the Chinese and the Indians and the Syrians and the whites and the Africans and the Portuguese. And oh, man. Get it together in your own house first. And that's why it's like we're just there, available for our enemies to use and abuse. And so, as I open up the lines, let me make this point. Again, you hear so many of our people, so many of us, we keep parroting that horrible, despicable mantra about we African people need the Syrians. We need the Syrians. We must have them. They give us jobs. Were it not for them, then we wouldn't have income. Stop that. That's disgusting thinking. They need you. You don't need them. You can unite and pool your resources, get together, put some money together in bulk, get one of these caravans, sell our own food to each other, liberate ourselves financially, engage in self-employment, and then network with other like-minded individuals and industries of our people. That is a possibility for us. But it is an impossibility for any ethnic minority in this country, whether it be local whites or Syrians or French Creoles or Chinese. It is an impossibility. Maybe the Chinese could be an exception here. Maybe. But for the whites and the Syrians, it is impossible. Listen to what I'm saying. It is impossible for them to operate all of these businesses and for them and them only to be the full staff. It is impossible for them to have all these supermarkets and restaurants and major stores and malls and for them to be all of the staff. They need you. They need you. You don't need them. But when you listen to the voices of some of our people, we are saying we need them. I've never heard you say that they need us. That, beloved, is a classic, first-hand, clear-cut example of modern-day slavery in the form of thinking like a colonized mind would. Wake up, black people. Let me open up the telephone lines, 342-0081 and 466-5391. And you can send text messages and WhatsApp messages directly to me on 3320214. And let me tell you something. This is why, beloved. You see this truth here going into these microphones, coming out through your radio. See this truth? This is more lethal in their minds than any of the nonsense, back and forth bantering and scandal mongering and spewing of vitriol that you hear back and forth in our society. This truth here that I'm speaking is what they consider to be lethal, because African unity in their minds is a nightmare. And that's why one Syrian man in this country could make overtures to my own people, offering money to bad talk me on the radio. Oh, please. Please. Come on. Caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir, Brother David Mohammed.
Greetings.
How are you going, sir?
I'm great. Haven't heard from you in a while.
David, I don't intend to waste no time, so I'm going to go straight to the point of the reason why I called. In relation to what I hear you mention earlier on concerning the COVID-19, stating that we have been washing hands, obeying all the rules and all these different things, right? So, yes, that is something we have been doing on a daily basis since this COVID-19 come out and all these different things. Now, you're here, Nicola?
Yes, I am.
Okay, right. Now, David, I just want to ask this question, right? This third wave that we had here, now, before this whole situation with when the Prime Minister tell people from Trinidad to go over in Tobago and, well, have a good time and all these different things, we didn't really have so much a rise in our cases. We had rise in our cases, but it was under, a matter of fact, it was under 50. They get 20, 25, sometimes they get a little lower than that and all these different things. Now, there was two major things that happened that caused this whole thing to just carry up. One was the situation when the Prime Minister told the people from Trinidad to go across in Tobago and free up yourself. That was one of the major ones. You know what was the second one? The second one was when they decided to close the beach. Right? Now, what they were supposed to do, they say you're closing the beach because people not social distancing and all these different things. You also do other two things first before you take that into consideration. One, let Gary Griffith know. Right? That's here we're going to close the beach at a certain time, wherever, well, at a certain time we're going to close the beach. Right? But at least station, because we know people are going to leave and go and things. So just to make sure we have law and order, at least authorize the people and them to go to make sure that if the people intend to go on the beach, they don't be careless and all these different things. He wants to make the commissioner of police aware of that first. If they don't do that, I don't say when they shut the beach, they say you shut it immediately. Right? That wasn't the case. They just said earlier in the day they said they're shutting down the beach and down with it. So it was up to the people to decide what to do. People decide to flood the beach all different parts of the country, some 300 so number of people so in different parts of the beach in the country. Right? So that too is on the PNM government. Now listen. You know, it's not everybody in Trinidad here abiding by the rules and all these different things. We have careless people. The leaders of the country also be aware of the people within the population. It's not everybody going to be obedient, and I mean to say the Prime Minister must know that. So I am saying that this whole third wave that takes place there, come out of these two issues, the Prime Minister is responsible for that. And I am saying this without apology. I don't care what nobody say, right? Every person that gets COVID-19 after this situation what took place in Tobago, the Prime Minister is responsible for that. Every person that died of a COVID-19 in this situation here, I say the Prime Minister is responsible for that. And why I say he's responsible for that? He is the one who called the shots, knowing that people in the country is careless. And you see, by doing what it is he do there, you notice the people from Trinidad who went up there, it's the same people who come down and being infected with the virus, right? So which means by doing that, he put Tobago at risk, and Tobago smarter than Trinidad too, because Tobago make sure they safeguard themselves from Trinidadians. So which means they lead down here, went up Tobago and spread the virus among themselves.
All right.
And, no, I'm just saying. I'm saying the Prime Minister is the one responsible for the third wave that is taking place here now, based on the decision he chose to make by sending people up into Tobago with that.
All right, thank you. I see the pattern in what you're saying, but I have also tried to piece that aspect of this apart. And I see what you're saying, but I would not go that far to blame him individually for the outbreak. You see, part of it is this, and this is how the balance has to be introduced into this conversation. Someone has to make these decisions. Someone must make these decisions. And if the numbers are going up and there's no lockdown that is upgraded, they'll say, look, numbers are going up and you haven't done anything. But as the numbers have gone up and he has introduced this new lockdown, people are saying, look, the numbers have gone up, but you've made these ridiculous decisions. So for him, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's simply the position that he is in. He's not going to escape from that kind of national condemnation, and we should be sensitive to that fact. Having said that, it appears though that some of the decisions might have been a little bit hasty. That we could understand. But the hardest part about this, since it began to now, is that it seems like the decisions have been made and have been taken in the best interest of a privileged few from the beginning. Even in the way that the law enforcement has been carried out, it would appear that way. And I think that might be an even bigger problem. This whole thing about service to the 1% and making sure that they're happy and fine first and everyone else can suffer. I think for many that is a bigger problem than even a bad decision. Like locking down the beaches, for example, which from what I understand is the most ridiculous of all decisions. Because I listened carefully to one scientist explaining that the beach is probably the least likely place where you can catch COVID, period. Open air, sunlight, breeze blowing. So most people catch COVID in enclosed spaces and in side rooms. So the beach, if you want to be safe from COVID, from what this scientist was explaining, the one place to go to is the beach. So to me, there's no logic in that. Yes, we understand two people can stand next to each other, but still, there's a much higher likelihood to catch COVID almost anywhere else outside of a beach. But that's the view of one scientist. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, David.
That's it.
Now, you see, that caller, when, as he said, disobedient children get a chance, they will always behave just as what they want. Because, Brother David, the people and them who went to Tobago, in no squanter, you know. If you was watching, you know. Them in squanter, you know. Them, because I want to go to Tobago and to pay a little change to go there, I had to think twice if you was watching before I could pay to go to Tobago. And the people and them went there. It's not Dr. Rowley's fault that all of them went up on a boat. Instead of the 25, you see 50 on the boat. It's not Dr. Rowley's fault. They went on party. It's his fault. He was there telling them all to go ahead and party. He said all you behave all yourself. And then behave themselves. Right in Trinidad and Tobago here. Right now, it's locked down, the bars and things locked down. You know, it's still have people who liming outside the bars and them.
Well, I understand the fast food restaurants, some of the more popular ones, have gotten these trucks. And they're selling their food out of trucks.
Yeah, well, Dr. now should be behind these people and them and saying, all your, don't congregate to get all your food. Don't congregate to do this and don't go in the restaurant and do all this kind of thing. But I know my point on Brother David.
Yeah.
Such an point with Africa. And it's so real.
Yeah, but my brother, we have a break coming up right now, but I do invite you to call back afterwards, okay? But thank you for your thoughts. Stay with us.
Where my boss ladies there? All you make some noise. To all my boss ladies right around the world. Is we loves you. All you ready? Bang, bang. I want to see all you burn a hole in that chair. Let's go. Boom. Give me the work, baby, work. Give me the work, baby, work now. Give me the work, baby, work. Lord, I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work. Sign me up. Sign me up. I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. I wanna sign my signature, cross my T's. Yeah, I am for the requirements that you need. My resume flawless, suitable, diverse, reliable. If you're higher grade, I just want a good. I come for this book. I come for this book. I come for this book. I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. I come for this book. I come for this book. Wanna make some noise? Where my boss ladies then? Where my strong, independent me every year. Watch it, lo. First. You see, I have a vacancy, I go be number one employee. I aim to please, guaranteed. I fit and ready. Alright, well equipped. The structure, I'm climbing it. Physical number, I've been looking good. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for red, boss baby. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. And I go on the jump. Yeah. I come for the work, you know. I'm a hard worker. Tell them. All I have to work real hard, you know. Watch it. Listen up. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. Watch it, keep it coming. I wasn't here, them right? Keep it going. Watch it, everybody. Bring it low. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for red, boss lady. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. And I'm gonna walk it from the left. Put I walk in front of me. And I'm gonna get in right away. I'm gonna put it back in it. Put your walk in company. Put I walk in front of me. And I'm gonna come in right away. I'm gonna put it back in it. Put your walk in company. Boss, tell me, I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for this work. I come for red, boss lady. I come for this work. Yeah. I come for this work. I come for this work. Walk it properly, boss lady.
Get mom in the right frame of mind this Mother's Day and see mom smile. Value Optical has a mom-tastic Mother's Day sale with 40% off all tagged frames and 25% off all other frames. Visit any of our 13 locations and find frames for the entire family. Promotion ends May 9 and conditions apply. Value Optical, caring for your eyes.
Just for you, so we'll get that perfect smile, beauty in every aisle, to take care of your body. We have all you need to stay healthy. Yeah, more to love, so much, yes it's true. Pennywise, just for you.
Pennywise gives you more to love.
It's Extra Foods Plenty for 20 Ramadan specials. Sheet vermicelli, 5 for $20. Nestle condensed milk, 2 for $20. NP Chana, 4 for $20. Regal whole almonds, 3 packs for $20. Carnation evaporated milk, 4 for $20. Blue Band margarine, 4 for $20. And Creamery Milky Lollies, 5 for $20. Over 200 items on special just for you. Sale runs for 11 days only. April 30th to May 10th. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Friday beginning May 7th from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM, starting May 7th.
Hi Trinidad and Tobago, this is yours truly, Pastor Charles, streaming live from Port of Spain, Trinidad, Marvel Road, 91.9. Every Wednesday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning. I tell you, we are going to have a TRME time in the presence of God. We will be praying, praise God, for our nation. We'll be praying for families. We'll be praying for those that are sick and those that are in need. Tune in to the best station, 91.5 FM, Street Live, Port of Spain, Maribel.
Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MC Duke, and every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the Street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk. Share the line. Share the line. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the line. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the line. Iwer TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the line. The Street 919 FM.
Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. So there's a need for brotherhood. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Brotherhood is demanded. Black man get up, black man stand up, black man you better listen. Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory. Brotherhood is essential, it is urgent, and it is compulsory. But the time demands brotherhood. Whenever the dominant white society fears for its economic future, racial tensions are always aggravated. The aim of Almighty God is to bring the black man and woman together. The aim of Almighty God is that we, no matter how divided we have been in the past, must experience unity in order to gain.
Welcome back and welcome to the second hour of the Black Agenda here on the Street 919 FM. I am Brother David Muhammad. We're going up to 6 o'clock. Yeah, just about 20 minutes before the time to break the fast. And we're taking your calls on 342-0081 and 466-5391. I once again want to thank all of those who came out yesterday to the book signing to get their copies of my new book, black youth at risk from juvenile delinquency to criminal gang activity. And, of course, the book is available at the Kwame Ture Center throughout the week. Just a quick bit of information about the book. It contains 414 pages, 15 chapters, over 250 references. It is a book of sociology, criminology, and educational psychology, and it addresses the psychological damage done to black children in the educational system, institutionalized racism, the impact of absentee fathers, poverty, negative peer group influences, gangs, guns, the drug trade, the school-to-prison pipeline, racial profiling and stereotyping, a failing justice system, white-collar crime, abuse, police extrajudicial killings, promotion of violent cultures, and so much more. And it's also available for purchase on the website, www.blackagendaproject.com. You can purchase a PDF download to go straight onto your tablet or iPad or phone or computer. All right, on the online store, the downloads are instant. And if you purchase it online, the delivery or the shipping out is next day. Or you could just come to the Kwame Ture Center during the week. Close at 5 o'clock. Usually there after that, but to get the book. All right, so let's go back to our phone lines, 342-00814665391. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon to you, Brother Mohammed.
Good afternoon, sir.
And I like the way how you call the new house slaves and them. The new house slaves. It's more different now than 400 years ago when we were in service for 400 years, because they stay on them in the house more modernized, and they know how to use the African community and drive them down the road. Because, at the moment, there's a sign today in this country. It is to break the African, make them weak. It is something that what they put, the slave masters put the African people in front, who dress up nice, who speak proper English, who study. That is the Africans they're using now. These are the new house slaves. The ones who studies, the ones who go to the best schools and mix amongst them. But at the moment, but you know what's right then? The only person could replace, the only person could carry out the slave master job. The only person could carry out the one shot, one kill is that person they pick, the head of SWAT. The only person could carry out that one shot, one kill, match them like cockroach, bring armor vehicles. The only person, the only black man, that was the only person they could have picked. Nobody else couldn't reach up, because after you see a police officer, when they went to murder a fisherman, and after the fisherman dead, and the woman have the phone in the man's face, that same officer come on the airwave, all of us social media saying the officer wrong, and what kind of officer we have in the service by showing a badge and showing a face. That what he come on social media and say what the officer do was wrong, to show this is in the badge and to show the public your face, because if you innocent and you're not guilty, you're gonna show your badge, you're gonna show your face. But that same man, Brother Mohammed, in Mova, ask people about that man, ask ask people about that station in Mova. Ask people about that station. People in Mova question that station. People in Mova question action. But you can remember the day of strictly policing.
Yep.
Strictly policing that day. All
Total
the country
policing.
total policing was locked down. That same man come on the airwaves and say, give me a long day. Walk with the lunch trip. Walk with a book bag with food because it will be a long day. That same man, he went the other day with a moment with some DJs and some artists. These DJs with Mohammed, they play vulgar music. There's be on the urban station. Vado, Cartel, Popcorn, kill. These artists here today who pick up these artists, these local artists who have a part to play in many more in this country. But I'm going to say about that. Let's say it again. These soca artists, these are soca artists, these wannabe full faction Jamaican artists in Trinidad and Tobago who singing violent songs today in Trinidad, encouraging Rasta 6, 9, 8, 10, 15, all of them killing. I have more to say about that. That same officer was lying with these, and these songs of them, songs move people. Songs move you. Songs make you feel happy. Songs make you feel sad. Songs make you feel glad. When you and somebody get away, when you and your woman get away, you go and listen to slows, you go and listen to rap. And these kind of things, songs is a powerful things. And the attorney general of this country, and that same police officer was, I'm talking about Inspector Alexander. That was Kingsley I speaking about. Inspector Alexander, I Kingsley speaking about. I am Kingsley, I'm speaking about. Right? That same officer went, Mohammed, among these urban DJ who play violent songs all day on the station. Violent songs all day station, and do some handshake. But Mohammed, if we don't understand, one more thing before I go, the new minister of national security come into this country. The poor people had to feel most, or they feel hard, or pay more from the pocket. Black people, you would. And if I feel more and pay more, and who is going to pay more? Who is going to feel it hard? Who has to deposit the pocket hard? Is the lower class, is the poor Africans, and the poor is Indian in this country. But Mohammed, as I stay away from the politics today, because I know I stay away from the politics today, and I deal with African and certain African police officer who I don't believe he's African. I believe he's carried out the job of the slave masters. I believe the oldest man could have taken that job at this time was that individual, because that individual in the ghetto, they question him, the people that say we do and we do, and I am saying this, Brother Mohammed, we cannot trust SWAT. We have to ask for SWAT to dismantle. SWAT today, I call on the police service, or is not the army, or is to protect and serve. Do not take instructions from individuals in this country who are encouraging people to do wrongdoing in this country. But I call on the army today to go in the bush, to look for Nicholas Maduro supporters, because I believe, Kingsley believe, I could be wrong, Kingsley believe these people running in Trinidad and Tobago is Nicholas Maduro, because they are hearing that we are friends with Nicholas Maduro. I am calling on the army, go up in the bushes and them, and all these legal Venezuelans are coming in our country. It is time to root them out. There's too much of Venezuelans in the bush hiding, making camp and making sleeping. While we have the army that's sleeping all day and all night. I am saying this, Mohammed. It is time for the army to secure our mountains and our borders in the mountains. We don't have an army. We have an air guard. What the air guard is for? All these people coming in our country, we have an air guard force in Piaco, in Sharamas, and Mohammed, so much to say. I want to thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Good afternoon, caller.
Blessed evening, my brother.
My brother.
I have to say, okay.
In whose voice? In whose voice?
I will leave it in voice.
In voice, okay.
Yeah, in voice.
All right.
So, big man talk now. Forget about the little song by talk. Respect to every African in Trinidad and Tobago. And as well to the whiter community. Because it's one people, one blood. My brethren, I want to say love to my honorable Prime Minister who laying hands on the floor. It's about time I start to take control of this place and pull the righteous from the unjust and do some perfect honesty among the people. You know, no more crying, but love and people and move our people and people in the ghetto. No more crying. And to the head of SWAT, I say, I salute the head of SWAT. I ain't no lover, no police. And I salute the head of SWAT. I know how important SWAT is. I know how SWAT form. So, and my army brethren, just study small talk. We know better than that. Leave the talkers to talk. We walk the walk. Jack, but I'm in the love to.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
342-0081 and 4665391. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Brother Mohammed.
Walaikum salam.
Brother Mohammed, I'm now watching something here and I feel a chill run through my body here, Brother David.
Oh, you just reminded me of something.
Run the African history.
Uh-huh.
On TPT.
On what?
TPT, African history.
Uh-huh.
With Zainab Badawi, UNESCO now.
Right.
This program, it's going on for a while now. All over Africa, showing the history of Africa. And you know what, look at, you're looking at it just now, I feel like chill onto my body. Queen Nzinga. A statue of Queen Nzinga, you understand? In Angola. Because right now, they all, the other fighters that they show, the great fighters of Africa, they show them in the Congo. But I feel like chill, looking at this black woman, the statue of this woman with the warrior weapon in her hand, which for 51 or 81 years, you understand? She actually fought the Portuguese and them. But they would have feel it. But they were I want to today.
So I missed that last part.
Huh?
I didn't get that last part.
Africa today.
Yeah.
Right. I just wanted to show it. But everything the Queen I didn't show it. But anyway, what's going on anyway? In Africa, I would always say that
you're going in and out. Okay, I think you might have to try and call us back. All right. Right, so 342-0081 and 4665391. Remember, you could also send text messages, WhatsApp messages via cell phone to 332-0214. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brother David.
How are you doing?
Well, not too bad, by the grace of God, I just making it one day at a time. And thanking Him for everything.
Yes.
And I also pray for our people, our the people of the diaspora.
Yep.
That we could absorb some of the knowledge that you're imparting with us and so on. And that we could use it to build our own economy, as you always do. And I want to say the arms that were found in the airport and in Monroe Road somewhere. I heard the police talking about going after the young men on the street who toting guns and robbing people, I think, and all the action they intend to take against them. I didn't hear them talk about the people who actually bringing in the weapons and what kind of action they intend to take against these people, and if they intend to bring them before the court to face justice. And that kind of talk, you know. I didn't hear that kind of brave talk, but and that I had to mention it. You know, I have it on my mind here, so I had to mention it. And something else I want to talk about very briefly. All these minerals and mineral resources that the first world countries using to build all this spaceship and all these different type of things. I understand from the conversation that they carry on and the things that I keep hearing is that these minerals and these resources come out of Africa. And like the uranium and the other gold and all the different things that they use to do whatever they have to do. But yet still they attach a huge figure or a price tag, sometime in trillions of dollars and all of that. So I was thinking, I said, well, wait, they're going into Africa and rooting these things out of the land and then coming and attaching these huge values. Because I hear them saying with the last space shuttle with the sun up there, that for a person to travel on that, they have to pay the weight in gold, which is $1,000 a pound. You hear that?
Yeah.
$1,000 per pound. So every pound you weigh, you pay $1,000 to travel on that spacecraft. So, I just put it in that day for food I thought now. So, because I know you are a man who do a lot of research and I was a person who also do research too, like the last caller, and who talk about Queen and Zinga and all of that. So, I don't know if Ole might come up with something to support what I say.
Yes.
So, thanks for the time. I thank you for all the energy and the information that you gather and share with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And what you mentioned there is something that I have definitely planned to have a conversation on the Black Agenda about sometime soon. Maybe not very, very soon, but I was looking up some of that stuff on space tourism and how much it's going to cost and the colonization of Mars and the colonization of the moon and the amount of money that is already being spent in the development of these technologies and the research, it's unbelievable. Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars have already been spent, not will be spent, have already been spent in this the development of this program. So yeah,
and apparently they don't look back for that money, They just consider that they just call it disposable.
Well, it's
that's
pocket change for some of them.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yes.
All right, my brother. Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you for the time.
Yes, sir. Yes. All right. Caller, are you there?
Yes, Brother David.
Yes.
Now, the point, the Corey of the rich, right? But listen to this one. Now, the 1%, we working for them. But let me say we go to work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and all workers to Thursday and Friday. You know what's going on there, Brother David? If you ever was saying, but you will have those who want to say, you see me doing that now? I going out and work. You know where I coming from?
Of course.
It must not be workers. But listen to this one too. Every Christmas Eve, we spend over $200 million in Trinidad and Tobago. The consumers, that is we. 200 million. Yours, new fridge, new TV. Yours are showing it, the full work. And this one now, you see the Manchester United and Liverpool business?
Yeah.
We want to get rid of the owners also.
Yes, exactly. And the decisions that the owners are making on their behalf.
Yes, because, as I shared, we now, the 1% think they run things now. It's yours. But the fans come like we. They say no to it, and them have to pull back now, but they want to get the owners out. And the last point I'm making here now, African Union, always take stock. Beware. Watch out what's going on in India. Before it happened to Africa, in Africa, always start setting up food banks for the vulnerable and those that the day-to-day eaters. Start to make sure that you have food banks in all the nations. So when you lock down, because you only have 1 million, and they aiming at all you, check it out. Thank you very much, Brother Dave.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Oh, my dear, good afternoon.
Ah.
All plans had to change, huh?
Yep. But the show must go on.
That's right.
Regardless of how many plans have to change, the show must go on.
Must go on.
And it will go on.
Absolutely.
And it is going on.
That's right. That's right. And there's so much to thank you for and so much to compliment you for. That as an academy, you said?
Yep. The Youth Academy, a boys' academy.
Oh, my word. How beautiful.
We've been building it underground for the last few months. And we already have together our directors, our committee, our team of mentors and role models and examples. Just to kick it off, we were looking at June the 5th for our launch date, but we will see what happens on May 23rd when the announcements are made. But still, the work is still taking place underground, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. But what I have to speak about here now, what did I hear you say? People were paid to do an assassination on your character.
Oh, no, let's move on from that because it's already been fleshed out, to be honest. I'm not going to go into that.
Right.
Now.
Okay. But that is, what can I say?
But that's the game. That is our local politics, you know.
Yes. And all you are doing is opening and doing good for young people. Getting a healthy batch of youths to come out of this nation that is going to profit from. Everybody is going to profit from it. That's what you are doing. Making healthy people in this country. Anyways. But nothing going to stop you. Nothing is going to stop you. And we would just have to put off the expo another time. And nothing definitely would stop you. So you keep on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Always great to hear from you. So this week coming up, again, it's a lot more quiet. We're not having any iftar, not gathering at the masjid. No breaking of the fast together. But the unity, the brotherhood, the love must go on. Caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mohammed.
Good afternoon to you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. What about you?
Are you all right? I listen to your program.
Right.
I listen here, you know, but you know what? When the Prime Minister, when the Prime Minister say that they will have to do for the 1% and 1%. But if we let me say we African work for a week and they get their money, who they going to spend it with?
Well, if we open our own businesses after pulling our resources, we could spend it with each other.
Now we're talking, people talking, now we're speaking.
Exactly.
Now we're speaking, and you know, sometimes you open business, they leave by you and they go the same 1% they're talking about.
There you go.
Hey, doctor, me and there's no racial thing, no racial. We're talking to ourselves.
Yeah.
They always complain about the 1%. But if you open a business, why when they will come, they trust you where you think we have, they trust it. I know they trust it. And when they don't trust it now,
Well, I don't know exactly who you're talking about, but you just made a very good point there a short while ago. That it cannot be racism if we are talking to ourselves. We're talking to ourselves. You understand? This is our private conversation. We're not calling anyone else any names or throwing a stone at anyone or abusing anyone else or insulting anyone else.
You get to free to go and spend your money with us, but after you don't work a whole week, just sit down by the bar with a beer and watch the people take a sit down home and cook your food, cook your little food on time and with your family them. Africa not talking to everybody. Sit down home and cook your food and enjoy yourself. You're talking about, but you're going on from, you're going too much of people. The Prime Minister say something, or you're going by the beach, or you're doing this. So you want the COVID to done. And I don't want to blame the Prime Minister. No.
Yeah. I don't know how many people got COVID from going to the beach, though.
Well, no, but otherwise, how they getting it?
Right.
How they getting it? I can't say how they getting it. You know, you could say you could say, but I'm Mohammed. Huh?
Say that again, sorry?
I say you could say how they getting it.
Well, I can't say that at all. But I doubt it's from going to the beach, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, not to the beach, but where they getting it? They're going to restaurants and they're going to, I don't know, but they're getting it coming.
Well, to me, the more it goes by, the more the days pass, the more mysterious it is. Because there are so many different theories about how the spread is taking place. And you know what's sad? I mean, I don't really want to go down this road, but...
Yeah, don't go down.
But you don't even know the road yet.
Nobody complain. Nobody complain you take the vaccine. It's up to you. You don't want to take the vaccine.
Of course, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice.
Leave it alone. Have a pleasant evening. Go
all right. Thank you so much. The road that I was going to say that I don't want to go down is, now you already know. There are those out there who have been placed under the category of conspiracy theorists who from the beginning have been saying that COVID-19 is not real, that it does not exist. I disagree. I believe that it is real and that it does exist. But, beloved, the more we hear the scientists and the researchers and the medical professionals and the politicians, the more they speak, I think it lends slowly but surely, bit by bit, incrementally, in tiny little doses, some credibility to that argument. Because if people, elderly people over 70 are getting COVID-19 and not even coughing, and other people are getting it, and there's no apparent signs or symptoms, okay, yes, we understand about incubation and mild infection, all right, fine. But to those who don't believe it's true, they must be glorying almost every day saying, wow, you see what I said, are you there, caller?
Yes, sir. Yes, and I'm very fast. I love to hear Tanti. We used to call she on another program. I do not know.
Very strong spirit.
Yeah, she's very sweet. I've some PNM, but my spirit take her. I like her here. But Mohammed, I encouraging everybody. I support the vaccine, taking the vaccine, and I also agree here with the COVID-19. I think that it's real, but it shouldn't come out of it, because when I see people over 80, 75 get the virus and they live, and not poor people, I mean people who are rich and have money, Jack Warner and Agopissing and others in the world who is over 70, Dr. Rowdy, and when you see Jack Warner medical, sugar, this blood, and I'm a very old man, and I'm here sugar, here pressure, every single thing that they say that if they get and old, they can get fast. Jack Warner had that take this. Also, I know and Kamala also. That's why she want to get that because of medical. But I encourage every single body, Brother Mohammed. This is what the world do for us. You have to take it. All of us, Muslim, Indian, Chinese, Hindu, Catholic, Baptist, wherever you are, you will have to take the vaccine because certain country is going to bring laws that not as that, but it's going to come before the year is finished. So certain countries are going to bring laws that you have to be vaccinated to come to the country. I am willing to take it, but as it's available for me, I'm going to take the vaccine. I'm going to take the vaccine. But the next fast point I want to make is with because I'm a supporter of English football. I'm a supporter of Chelsea FC.
Chelsea. Okay.
Club. Yeah,
we could work with that. We could work with that. We could work with that.
Yeah. I support it over 7 years now. 7 years. I don't know, but I started for it, and the team I picked when I started for Chelsea because my cousin was Man U and Manchester and all kind of thing, right? So, but the owners of them own the club, right? Them own the club, right? So I call my cousin because he's a Man U fan. He bed his Man U, his jersey, his Man U, his shoes, his Man U. He live Manchester and in Trinidad. He live it. He believe in Man U. He believe in
right. Who I think have the largest fan base in this country, maybe after maybe Barcelona. No, I think it's Manchester United.
Manchester. Okay.
Especially from the days of Dwight York. Remember our own Dwight York was a hero, still is a hero of Manchester United.
Right. You must know Manchester because of Dwight York. I might know Spurs, I might know Everton because but they must know Manchester because of Dwight York in that time. So I call him, I say, why your supporters storm or you feel like Trump supporters? He say, but Chelsea supporters protest too. I said, tell me the real story about it. He said, the big clubs of them, like Barcelona, Manchester City, they'll join up together to leave the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
The Champions League, right?
But I don't think they ever intended to leave it, you know. It's just that they have this separate league of 12 countries, a European Premier League. You know.
Right. And that's one of the big bacchanal take place. But I asked my cousin how the supporters could move the owners on them. He said, boy, them over there, the owners will be moved. But them own the club. So somebody know who's a multi-billionaire now has to buy the share because if they want the owners and them to remove, because them is the owners, but the supporters and them, because them supporter base large in England, 50,000, 60,000 people, 70,000 people across the world who support different clubs. So I say, well, how these supporters, because I don't am on the side at all. Right? I don't have to take credit for me. But I can't understand how the supporters and them could get these owners. Right? Them have to be very powerful. I want to say now, because these people own the club. They're the owners of the club. They invest money in the club, pay money to buy players. They have our board, everything. So I do not know how that will go. But I want to say, remember, I thank you once again. And what to say there about somebody getting paid to taking a character, yes, you always say that more than once.
Yeah,
I hear say this is about the 34th time I hear it.
That's old news.
I like to say definitely, not this Kingsley. I talk, and nobody can do me that. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Caller, good afternoon.
Yes. About Rowley telling people to go to Tobago. How come Rowley can't tell me where to go? How come I can't understand that he's to be blamed because he tell people go to Tobago, and I don't even want to go down that road and getting into there and defending anybody, but I find people just don't think half the time, you know. Anyways, but sometimes you wonder if this disease, this virus is a designer virus, because at one time you were saying that the animals getting it, house pets and so getting it, and then that was kind of hushed after a while, and now you hear it could get you at the beach because it's on the water, and when the sea break a wave and the foam come at you. I heard that with my own 2 ears. They tell you can And now you're hearing scientists say that if you're in open air with the sunlight and wind, how can you get the COVID?
Yeah.
So you're wondering what it is, this disease, like it's some sort of designer thing that every time you're hearing something new about it or something stranger about it, what it is going on. Anyways, thank you.
All right, thanks again. Caller, good afternoon. Caller?
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Mohammed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, it's a pity that our people don't discuss or not big in the dance when it comes to the economic section. It's a pity our people are so massive in the bacchanal and he say, she say, them say, and they say section. And if you notice, if you have to be in charge of yourself, in charge of your marriage, in charge of your home, in charge of your progress, in charge of your motivation, as Africa, you notice, Mr. Nanan Kufu, all them, the leaders, the proper leaders who noticing that economics is the game. And if you notice, when the Chinese were coming in with the money, they took the money. But now they're making sure that their resources, because life is about what you do with your financial gains from your financial resources, your education, your job, whatever you do, it's always about your finance. You could be the best, this, that, the other. If you notice, the Syrians were the best sellers. But the COVID is one of the man-made diseases, if you notice. And if you notice, they're getting it where when you take the injection, it will overcome the arm, as they say, with the other arm, where your body will work on the other things. That one will be so strong, it won't overcome the others. It come like when they put the fish in the American waters, how they overtook a lot of the other fishes and they had to try to get rid of them by using the electricity because they mature so fast, the power. Right, and we have to understand that we have to elevate ourselves. And we have to realize our leaders, our leadership is responsible for our progress. If you notice a lot of the time, right now I say thank you for the hearts and minds and all that in Laventille because we had to accept a fact. Our government, the PNM government, was there very, very long. And whether you like it or not, when people for you, you have to be for them. I don't bad talk and I don't really care with the politics. I always want the economics. But when Miss Kamala Prasad came, she made sure churches, the rivers, the people, everything was financially stronger. And most of the time we don't talk money. We're afraid to talk money. We talk church from now till we drop. And the churches get rich of us and they don't return anything to their people. Let me say it again. The churches are very, very powerful. And the churches a lot of time is in charge with the government and over the world a lot, but they don't return to their people. And most of the time they make them feel, you pray and then you're dead, study when you're dead. Listen to most people. Boy, we better not nothing because when you're dead, you carry nothing. They never say, you have to leave a legacy, like the Syrians, like the Chinese, like the Indians, like the Portuguese, the fellows who get the permission to bring guns, all them things. And if you notice, they have the black people poor. Leadership is our biggest problem. And wherever they guide us, if you notice to be a king, you're going to be prosperous. Prosperity. You're going to get married, you don't want a hungry man. You want prosperity. Because whether we like it or not, life is about an investment. A good marriage is a proper investment. You can't marry a hungry man and expect you're married to things. With vexation, hate, cost, get on, you can't educate. That kind of stupidness. And it's time for you to focus on prosperity. Right now with the COVID, it came as a proof. Because if you know a lot of everybody wants somebody to help them financially. The business marathon, it come like a game. And nobody was telling me, you know you got to help yourself. And if you know when you have, you get. When we have, we get. If we have nothing, we have to beg. And when we beg, nobody cares about the beggars. Nobody. They give you promises. And if you don't get up as a team, form cooperatives, you see the selling of the Petrotrin, the government was to say half for the people as shareholders. Let me say that again. The government was to say half for the people as shareholders because we got a lot of money passed through. A lot of people encourage us to drink, to have a good time, to list the bacchanal and stupidness, while the money people, they don't want us in that team, or they're not telling. And if you notice, a lot of party have all the fanatics. And when you're a fanatic, I think you should be a millionaire and a billionaire. You understand? Because the government permits you, right? That's what I like with the Clico thing, where you come and you say, we make shareholders. When Kamala was there, she didn't want to sell it. She wanted to sell it at junk price. And they buy it. I think they got the Valsign one. You understand? And we don't talk the talk. It's not the art. It's not the what. It's leadership for prosperity. Leadership for prosperity.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Caller, good afternoon. Caller? Caller, can you hear us? Caller?
Good afternoon, David, Brother David.
Yes.
We have to admit that Dr. Oli is a leader of a lot of people in Trinidad and Tobago.
But obviously, he's the Prime Minister.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, but for some reason I have to say it. People want to know if Dr. Oli say the place to be for East is Tobago, nobody is going to listen to that. I didn't listen. In any case, I wasn't planning to go. I was not vacillating. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. But some of the people who take everything he says to heart, and political leaders have that power over people, maybe not a lot. It varies, of course, from time to time, from person to person. The people who are vacillating and wondering, boy, should I go, should I not go, they would have gone if they were believers in him. Because, they would go with the idea that he has some kind of knowledge, some kind of access to information. And here he is saying, well, it's safe. The place to be is Tobago. But any kind of encouragement of large groups of people heading in one direction would have been a bad thing. If everybody had gone down to Mayaro or Moruga, wherever Madam Cornhoxel is, because she was giving free corn soup, that would have happened. The same threat of an increase. People are arguing if there's an increase or not, so I'm not getting into that. The same high risk of an increase would have happened. If they had headed to Cedros, if they had come to Pinal, once you encourage people by your words, you are a leader. And he had said before that if you are a leader of anybody, any group of people, try to encourage them to do the right thing, and crowds would not be the right thing. So I just want to say that whatever else your feeling about the man is, he fell down on that one. I'm looking at that one, he fell down on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. 3420081 4665391.
Brother Mohammed, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'd like to say good afternoon to all the callers and everybody on this wonderful Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Good afternoon to you, Brother Mohammed, for being a nice show. It's pain me in my heart I could not have come yesterday. I came the second to last one, but I couldn't come yesterday. Sorry about that.
Right. This is Mr. PNM, right?
Mr. PNM, yes, sir.
All right, let me just say this to you real quick. There's a caller to this program who I think he was the first caller for the day, either the first or second caller. His voice, to me, sounds almost identical to yours.
Oh boy.
But the things that he started saying, though, I knew it wasn't you. But at first I did. At first I thought
I God.
Did. But do you know who I'm referring to?
Yeah, I think I have an idea.
The voice sounds almost exactly like yours. All right, go ahead.
So I'd like to tell people, pertaining to the Tobago issue with Dr. Rowley, if you really check this out, right? Tobago, if Tobago don't have COVID, Tobago have less than 50 cases of COVID compared to Trinidad, right? So people who talking about the Dr. Rowley encourage people to go down and spread in Tobago, majority of Tobagonians do not have COVID. get that off the back foot one time. Secondly, and your African people doing a lot of complaining and complaining and complaining. Look that expo you had yesterday. How much people inquire about it? And that whole, it should not have room in that place to hold people. Right? We talk about the leader and Dr. Rowley. And Dr. Rowley and the PNM has been governing this country for the majority of times. Every road, every highway, nearly every byway, nearly every school in this country, every education, they get it under the People's National Movement. They get free education so they can sit down and cut the PNM today. Yeah? All universities was built by the People's National Movement. Dr. Rowley and the PNM government has put so much of policies in place for people to take advantage. But you know what? African people don't want to do that. They see something back on all the social media, they go spread that. How much of them let's get on social media and spread positivity? How much people have said, hey, Dr. Mohammed coming on, all the luck on the man will be talking sense this evening. We don't do that. Then we want to turn on and blame the government. You understand? So much I think in place. What means education from preschool to university, free education across the board. How much African people have taken it up? I see, Brother Mohammed, with me?
Yes, sir.
I see it's a thing called MIC where the government had training children and trade all over this country. You know, majority of the classes, I happen to pass there to check a family member of mine. Majority of the classes half and scanty. Imagine my father said in his days they used to pay you to learn trade. Now you start to pay to learn trade. The government paying you to learn trade. They're giving you free food and all and drink. And they still want to take the opportunity. Yeah? And then you want to come and say the government, how much are we from unions? Form little groups, trying to figure out how to form little groups, how to form little African communities and do proper things to uplift yourself and inspire others to join and come on. We don't do that. But then we come Dr. Rowley and the PNM and the UNC. I just want to hear that again, you know. I'm not blaming Dr. Rowley. Dr. Rowley did what they're supposed to do. He grew up with children. He's a role model, just like your good listener, Brother Mohammed. So I don't want to hear people always come contrast as the brother said. From you think, look when Dr. Rowley giving out land. Go and see how much African people going and apply for that free land to do farming. They don't want to do that. But then we want to blame government. All this time we get together as African people, do things, form communities. That little thing where you have in that, that's such a nice, beautiful little start. I came to that the time, the second to last time I had it. Right? And I will be coming once at any time, I will be coming many more. Understand? These are little things you have to do, but they don't want to do that. But you hear them crying about government and PNM, and you don't want to hear that. But let's come together, pull all the money, pull all the resources, and let us start to think about ideas, how to develop ourselves and our people. But Mohammed, nice program, locked on and listen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And imagine I just noticed the countdown is on, and it's almost up. So I want to thank you so much for listening this afternoon. Thank you once again to all of those who came out and got the book, Black Youth at Risk. You can come to the Kwame Ture Center during the week and get it. And stay blessed. Obey and observe the lockdown restrictions. And let's keep God first. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Second Sunday, how you feeling? Plenty pace, you like when I ride it slow. Bend, but I never break. I know that you like it so. It feels my body good.